Alright, hello everyone. We are about to get started with another scrim from Nightshade. This is Fiery, the head coach of Nightshade, and I will be your caster for tonight. Alright, so it looks like Nightshade is ready, and we're just getting confirmation from the Underdogs, and then we'll go ahead and get started with our first map in this scrim. Alright, they're asking for 1 second pause. So before we get started, we have on the side of Nightshade, our players today, we have Cloud Prime on main tank, aka Cloud. We have Unruly Taco on off tank, aka Taco. For DPS today, we have Photo, and then Bandit may be filling in for DPS as well. And then for our healers, we have Karo-chan and Frozen Peach. So, be starting in just a second. And it looks like they're ready. Let's go ahead and get started.
Now entering the Temple of Anubis. Initiating match.
So starting off, we are going to have the Underdogs attacking first and Nightshade on defense. So in just a few seconds, we'll see what kind of comps they're going to be running.
Ready for battle.
So on the side of Nightshade, we're running more of a bunker comp. This is actually one of our stronger comps that I know the team has practiced a lot, where we have that Orisa, and then we also have the Symmetra to be able to teleport the team up onto the high ground and hold up there. Now, we haven't really practiced it much since Batiste was added into the game, so it's going to be interesting to see how he's utilized as well within this sort of bunker comp. And then it looks like we also have a Diva for contesting the high ground and that mobility, and we have Moira as the main healer. So as you can see, the team is teleporting up to that high ground and planning on holding there. Photo set up some turrets to help guard that bridge area as the Underdogs may push through that middle area. Now on the side of the Underdogs, they are running a Mei. They're running the traditional Rein Zarya comp, and as expected, they are going main there. They put up a Mei wall to try and block off some of that damage coming in from the top. It looks like some of Nightshade has actually dropped off of the high ground. Now Photo's turrets are doing work. And it looks like they might be able to hang on. Now the team has noticed that Junkrat up top who is firing spam from up there and have taken him out as well. So overall, a pretty good hold for the first push. It looks like Karo-chan already has her Coalescence, so Nightshade has some sustain here, but we also see on the side of the Underdogs, their Rein already has Shatter. So that's something that they'll need to watch out for, and I'm not sure if that's something that Nightshade is expecting here. So now they've chosen to hold up on this other high ground here, but... oh, there is the Shatter.
Get into position.
I've got you in my sights.
Bandit has popped her ultimate. Tactical Visor helped clean up that push. So that did look a little scary initially, with that huge shatter coming in. from Wayfarer. But Nightshade was able to hold on for that push. And now, looking at the two teams, you should notice something here that Nightshade actually has a number of ults ready and available for this next push here. We have a Diva Bomb, Moira ultimate still, Symmetra shield, and Cloud's Bongo as well. But actually it looks like the Underdogs have also started to gain some of their ultimates. Now the Underdogs have used a pretty smart tactic here. They used that Mei wall to block so that way they could go on the point. So now it's almost as if Nightshade has to fight against them on the point. Now Taco has taken out two crucial picks here. The Ana and Reinhardt.
60 seconds remaining.
Boosters engaged.
And this might be the Underdog's last push here on attack. So we see Peach has used her ultimate to try and get some extra spam damage at that choke there. But it looks like the Underdogs waited out and actually pushed. Half of them are on the point. Oh, and they've lost their Rhine already. It seemed like there was some miscommunication because half were still at the choke and half went to the point. Now we see Bandit with the tactical visor taking out a number of the Underdogs as well. Junkrat's trying to hold on to that point on attack.
10
But
seconds remaining.
let's see if Ryan can make it. It's almost there. And a Shatter comes out, but he can't touch point.
APM 좀 올려볼까?
And that completes the Underdog's attack.
0 to 0. Switching sides. Initiating match.
Alright, so now we are going to be starting it with the attack for Nightshade. So,
Now entering the temple of
as
Anubis.
is traditional with scrims,
Initiating match.
we try to give each side a chance to attack both points if the first attacker does not achieve that. So by resetting the map, Nightshade now has the opportunity to attack both point A and point B if they can. So let's see what they end up running on attack here.
Ready for battle.
We have a pause come in. We do have an automatic pause on disconnect option included, and it looks like that's exactly what has happened. We had someone on the Underdogs DC, so it will be just a second waiting for them to come back. So hopefully they'll be back soon. But in the meantime, just thinking about that first attack that we saw from the Underdogs and the first defense that we saw from Nightshade. So it seemed like the bunker comp did work in Nightshade's favor. We saw a lot of them taking the high ground. So initially they had TP'd up to the very top of the point and had held it up there. Now there was some concerns with some of the team dropping down early and some of the teams still staying on that high ground. So the team was split for a little bit, and actually it was the squishies that had dropped down to the point, which puts them at quite a disadvantage against all of the underdogs who are attacking at that moment. But we were able to hold on and stick through that particular attack push. After that, they did a good job of resetting up to the other high ground, that main high ground that you normally see teams hold up there, which is great for like an Orisa defense, which we were running. So they were able to hold it up there as well. There was some, as mentioned, did see some, almost seemed like miscommunication from the underdogs because the last few pushes seemed a little uncoordinated, where half of the team was going to point and half the team was not. So they had lost their Rhine early. Rhine is one of those heroes that you really, really want to have when you're trying to do a last minute push, and unfortunately they didn't have that available. So overall it was a good defense from Nightshade's side here. And it looks like we do have someone else joining on the side of the underdogs. So it looks like we will have a sub come in. Let me just verify that they are in the game. And it looks like they are. So I'm going to check, make sure the teams are ready before we go ahead and continue here. So it looks like Nightshade is ready, just waiting confirmation from the underdogs here. Alright, looks like we're ready to go. Let's go ahead and get started here. So if you're just joining us, we did see the underdogs on attack first and Nightshade on defense. The underdogs were not able to take point A, so now we're going to see Nightshade do their attack. So far the picks on the side of Nightshade here. We're running a Ryan Zarya tank lineup here. We have the soldier, which is great for any sort of potential Pharah that we might see on the other side. And we are actually running our own Pharah, but for healers we're running Ana and Lucio. Those two are great together, so let's see how this push goes. So the underdogs are running a Bastion and a Mei. This is going to be a tricky defense to push through for Nightshade. So they have Mercy damage boosting that Bastion. He is just going to melt through any shield that Cloud has. So Cloud has to be careful when trying to get the team through this choke here. It looks like the team has regrouped and are ready to go and are pushing top right. But the Mei wall comes in from the underdogs, effectively blocking off half the team. And Cloud ran out of shield, and now the team is kind of in a bad spot. Now some of them did make it to the high ground, and D.Va is by herself. So they might be able to demech this D.Va. She is outnumbered. But someone else is also coming up here. Batiste on the side of the underdogs is trying to harass the team up on high ground, but again, he is outnumbered as well. So just with those two coming in solo against the team, we've already gotten 2 picks. Let's see if Nightshade capitalizes on those picks. So Bandit has dropped to the ground. The Bastion ult is coming out, and Mercy has rezzed on the side of the underdogs.
I've got you in my sights.
We're seeing the soldier ult come out, but immediately Bandit is taken out.
Nerf this.
Unfortunately, that D.Va bomb did get Zarya, so now we're seeing picks on each side, and now it's looking like the underdogs have effectively stopped Nightshade's push here. with Anna still alive. Let's see if Carol can get out safely. That was a little close there, but she did manage to get out. Now we're seeing some ultimates coming up here on each side. We have Clara ult on the side of Nightshade, but the Mei ult comes out first as the team is trying to navigate through this room. Lucio ult has come out to try and keep the team alive as they push to point. We do have Barrage still on board, as well as Cloud Shatter. And the Barrage comes out and takes out that Bastion, who is one of the biggest threats on the Underdogs team.
60 seconds
وليهم
So it looks like the teams are evenly matched right now, 3v3 on the point. Taco uses her Graviton Surge, and that looks like that's going to wrap things up, or so I thought. We have one final Diva ult,
All systems check.
but it looks like Nightshade will be able to take the point here.
Objective lost. New defense point. Objective B.
So we're not seeing any switches on the side of the Underdogs yet. So Nightshade's going to have to navigate around that Bastion. They have a strong Bastion Orisa comp here, as well as the Mei wall that could potentially block them out if they try to push through the choke. So they have to be careful of that. And it looks like they're actually going through the left side here. We have seen Photo switch off to the Sombra. But it looks like Bastion is just firing at the team as they're trying to get through there, and maybe it's not a good idea to go through there anymore with that Bastion set up there. So the team has decided to get out and potentially go a different way. Bastion ult has come out and it's being damage boosted. But we also see Bandit's ult on Soldier coming out. Neither ultimate has gained the teams any picks. But Bastion's powerful damage has taken down Cloud. Frozen has touch point, but... and now Photo, but at this point they've lost too many numbers. It's probably best to regroup here. So the team will need to regroup and figure out how do you get through that Bastion bunker comp. Now, what I do see here is Photo is on Sombra, as mentioned, but she is actually getting close to an EMP. EMP is very strong against this sort of bunker comp. So if the team can coordinate, push with EMP, and clean up after that, they can potentially take this point in one push. So we see them wrapping around that right side there. Bomb does not take out anything, but Cloud has already gotten 2 picks on the healers, and we have the Sombra EMB come out. All that's left is a baby Diva. And the healers who have now just respawned, and they don't touch point, and it looks like Nightshade has taken first map.
Resistance neutralized.
Score 0-2. Switching sides.
Alright, so we'll be setting up for our next map in just a second. The next map choice will be going to the Underdogs. They'll be picking which one to start off with first. And it looks like they want to do Busan. So we have one of our members who is restarting really quick due to network connection, and then we'll go ahead and get started with Busan. Since this is a scrim, we will be playing all 3 maps regardless of however many points are taken by either team. So we'll get to see each part of Busan being played today. So looking back at Anubis, Nightshade did a really good job of coordinating their pushes, especially with that final one that did get them that point B there. As I had mentioned, they had some strong ultimates going in. They had that Sombra EMP, and I think the Sombra pick was perfect against that sort of Bastion bunker comp, because you're almost guaranteed a 4, 5, or 6-man EMP because of how closely together the team is, especially on that second point there. And that takes Bastion out of his turret mode and allows a chance to burst him down there. We also did see a huge play from Cloud. Cloud had charged in after she was walled off, so it was a little scary for a moment. But after she charged in, she actually got picks on 2 of the healers, the Mercy and the Baptiste, and so that already was opening up a great push for Nightshade. So with both of the healers down, the EMP came out right after that Maywall had come down, and the rest of the team could push, and then they were able to just clean up after that. It was a beautiful push, and I think that Nightshade had coordinated that really well. And as you had seen, they did wait a second and allow everyone to have their ultimates and have everyone push together before going on to that point. So it was really good coordination by Nightshade there. Alright, we're about to get started here. Looks like we do have someone being subbed out on the side of the Underdogs. So we have Link coming in from Giggles on the side of the Underdogs. And we have on the side of Nightshade, we have photo swapping out for Kitty. And it looks like that is all set up. We're just awaiting confirmation from the Underdogs, and we will go ahead and get started with Busan. So Wayfarer on the Underdogs says that they're having a huddle, so they must be strategizing what kind of comps they want to run on Busan here. So we'll start as soon as they finish their huddle here. And we are ready. We got the all ready from both teams. Let's go ahead and get started.
Now traveling to Busan. Initiating match.
We're starting first on this temple map here. Now, usually comps that I would see on this map include a widow. Usually you see a widow shooting from here. You might also see a pharmacy come out, especially from Nightshade's side, since we did see some Pharah before. Diva's also a popular pick here. It is her hometown.
Ready for battle. Five, 4, 3, 2.
We're getting started. So Nightshade is running
Round one.
a
Capture
Rhine
objective.
Zarya comp here with Soldier and Junkrat on DPS and Moira and Zen on heals. Whereas it looks like the Underdogs are running more of a dive comp, but with a Mei and a Sim. Those are interesting combinations with those two tanks. So both teams go straight to point. Looks like Sim's already setting up some turrets on the point there.
The objective is now
No picks on either side yet. Nightshade's sort of rotated around, but they're giving up some ground on the point. The Underdogs have taken partially, but now Diva's demeched, and we are seeing some picks here on the board. Frozen has taken out that Symmetra. Got Batiste down and the Winston. At this point, it's just cleaning up. Looks like Nightshade is not allowing any survivors to get out of that first push there. And again, we see a fast ult come out for actually both healers. We have Hero-chan and Moira already with her Coalescence, but then we also see Eevee on the side of the Underdogs also has her Valk already. So we'll see if either of these main healers do use their ultimates in this next push here. Now Kitty was off to the side by herself on this far left, and it looks like the Underdogs took advantage of that and got an early pick on her. So now is the time when they will be pushing into the point here.
Helden sterben nicht.
And we have a huge shatter come out from Cloud. Took out the Symmetra here, and we also have Tactical Visor come out.
Огонь по готовности.
Lots of ults coming out here from the side of Nightshade.
Deine Schutzengel ist da.
Now Mercy was able to res the Batiste on the Underdog side, but that fight might already be over. Although they do still have that Winston. And now he's gotten picked as well as the Batiste. The Underdogs need to back up and regroup. At this point, they're sort of staggering, and Nightshade is taking advantage of that. Another late pick there on the Mercy, although Zenyatta has also been picked on Nightshade's side. Cloud charges into the Diva. We're seeing all red on the board here. So Nightshade has taken this temple map at 100%.
score 0-1. Ready for battle.
The next map here is Mecha Base. We'll see if there's any switches on either side. The Underdogs may be running a Roadhog here. Now, I don't think we've seen Roadhog come out yet this scrim, so we'll see how that works for them. But so far, they're keeping that Mei and that Symmetra to try and hold that point there.
4, 3, 2.
Oh, and this on the side of Nightshade, we are going to see some Wrecking Ball come out. We have a Diva to go along with some of those dives there, and we're seeing a Mei as well. So Cloud has gotten there early and scouted out the enemy team. She did get hooked, but is able to get out of there. Taco getting frozen by the enemy Mei. With the enemy running that Mei, it's going to be a little difficult for Wrecking Ball or Eva to avoid getting frozen there. And Taco has taken out Mercy on the underdog. And now a fight breaks out. Everyone jumps down to the point. Piece is taken out now. Roadhog. And again, another fast ult by Kero-chan. But it looks like at this point, the point's already taken.
Do you want a bandage for that?
Seems like both sides are gaining their ultimate pretty quickly. So this next fight for Nightshade, we have Hammond Mines, we have Diva Bomb, and we have Batiste Field. Now Whole Hog comes out from the underdog. There's the Diva ult. And you could see the Blizzard froze them, but they did not die to that Diva ult there. Diva ult from the underdogs comes out and takes out the two healers on Nightshade. And now the Batiste ult comes out as well. This is going to be a one fight for the underdogs. The Mercy does pop a late valve. So Nightshade will need to regroup here. And Nightshade does have still the Hammond Mines, and now they also have a tire on the kitties, so potentially some big ults coming here. So the underdogs have decided to go and take up that high ground again. Cloud tries to charge in, but is getting frozen while Frozen is backcapping the point as everyone's fighting up top. Unfortunately, she is taken out, and the underdogs use Blizzard to try and clear off that point and protect it.
All systems checked out. Vent matrix activated. Fire in the hole!
We have Tire coming out. Let's see if it hits anyone. Now, Batiste did have his field out, so that actually saved the team from the Tire. But now we're seeing Blizzard come out from Bandit, and with no more Immortality field there, they were able to clean up right there. Get a full team kill. So Cloud might be scouting right here with third person view, seeing if they're pushing this way or not. We have mines coming out, so this will effectively block off the enemy team from pushing through this part of the choke. Does not get any picks, however. Frozen uses her Immortality field, gives the team more sustain. The underdogs have actually moved over to this other side here. The ult comes out from the underdogs, does not take out anyone. Sim ult comes out as well. Everyone is using everything. No picks with that Diva Bomb either. And yet another Blizzard on the point. We're seeing some huge plays by Bandit. Some really nice Blizzards on the point to stop the pushes from the underdog.
Score 0-2.
So Nightshade has taken the first 2 points, and as mentioned, with this being a scrim, we do play all 3 points. So we will be playing on this next city map here. Already seeing some changes in team comps. The underdogs have switched off to a Rhine. They may or may not keep that Diva. So far the DPS seems to be the same, with a Mei and a Symmetra. It looks like Nightshade has also switched off quite a few of their
1.
heroes
3.
running that Rhine Zarya, Rhine Diva now. So Diva can contest high ground. We're gonna see Bandit on Reaper. Looks like the Fire Strike was
Time to
eaten,
raise my APM.
and Nightshade goes straight to point, as do the Underdogs.
Routing cowards forward barrier.
First pick is on that Ryan,
Dein Schutzengel ist da.
but Mercy has a huge res on the Underdog. Looks like Nightshade is taking over the point though, and does win that fight to get the initial percentage on the board here for this map. And Junkrat on the Underdogs is backing up. Good idea. And it looks like they're going to regroup before they start their next push. So they're rotating through this back theater area. Cloud gets charged by Wayfarer, but manages to survive. And Mercy Eevee has also res that Rhine right back up. However, Nightshade is getting those picks again, leaving only this Junkrat up top, who unfortunately will be staggered there. We're seeing some ults come on the board again here. Nightshade has Diva Bomb, Coalescence, Death Blossom, and Shatter. Those are some pretty big ultimates. But looks like the Underdogs have almost all of theirs as well. Now they're rotating through this side part here. Bandit drops with her Death Blossom, but a quick reflexes
Dein Schutzengel ist da.
by the Batiste. The Immortality Field does save them, as well as the Diva's Defense Matrix.
Routing power to forward shield.
My keen analytical mind detects a pattern. This will heal you.
So there may be one last push here by the Underdogs.
Helden sterben nicht.
Oh, it looks like the Underdogs Diva tried to touch, she could not, and at that moment as well, Taco did throw out her ultimate and get picks there. So unfortunately that wraps it up for the Underdogs, but Nightshade has taken all 3 points here on Busan.
冻住，不许走。
Double, triple.
That May pick was extremely powerful on that map in particular. Bandit did a great job with using those ultimates when a lot of the Underdogs were trying to contest point there. So far we've seen Anubis as well as Busan come out for both of the maps. And Nightshade has been pretty strong on both of them. They were able to defend point A of Anubis, and then on their attack they were able to take both point A and point B, despite being up against a Bastion bunker comp, which honestly usually gives Nightshade quite a bit of trouble, but they were able to coordinate it so well and take that second point especially, which was quite difficult for them and is very strong with that kind of bunker comp. For Busan, it's like we're having one person being substituted. For Busan, we had a very strong showing again from Nightshade. They were able to to maintain control of the point for all three maps for the most part. So we did see the underdogs run a Mei and a Symmetra, which sometimes can be difficult when trying to attack on those kinds of control points. They're great for holding and defending it once they have captured it, but Nightshade typically won those first few fights, which gained them map control over the control point. So it was hard for the Symmetra to set up. It was hard for Mei to block off Nightshade with her walls. And so it was just a little bit more difficult for the underdogs to use that comp against Nightshade. Nightshade had a good initiative there. They were actually able to get some of the first picks, and then you could see them become aggressive. Once they did get those first few picks, they didn't let anyone on the underdogs get out. They were able to burst them down and clean them up, and then sometimes stagger them. So it took longer for the underdogs to group up and push, or in some cases they were pushing with an incomplete team. So far we're seeing really good plays from Nightshade. We'll see what map we end up doing next. So far we have played an assault map as well as a control map. So next few maps we'll see probably be King's Row for a hybrid map. I know that's one of Nightshade's favorite maps, as I think is the case with many teams. They do like King's Row. So we might see King's Row come up next. And then pure escort map. Not sure. We might have the underdogs pick that one. So could be Route 66, could be Dorado. We could even see Havana come out for the first time between these two teams. So we'll have to find out what happens next. We are taking a small break here. Looks like the underdogs wanted to regroup for a few minutes. They might have felt like they were struggling a little bit with some of these last few maps. So I think they're just trying to regroup, re-strategize, trying to bring themselves together so that way they can come out stronger on these next few maps in the scrim. So we're giving them a few moments to do that, but we will be starting the next map here in about a minute or two. I'll be checking with Nightshade if we should do King's Row next. And since we did start off Anubis with the underdogs attacking first, we're going to have Nightshade attack first on King's Row here. So we'll be starting that up in just a moment. Alright,
Now entering.
we are getting started with Queen's Row.
Initiating match.
So Nightshade will be attacking first. I'm expecting a Ryan Zarya comp to come out from Nightshade. That's typically what they run here. They might run a Diva as a substitute for Zarya. You could even see them potentially pull out Goats, but so far it looks like it's more of that 2-2-2 comp. So Nightshade has that Ryan Zarya. They have Mercy and Zenyatta for heals. And then Hanzo
Attack
and
is
Junkrat
incoming in 30
for
seconds.
DPS. Now we're actually seeing some of Nightshade also flexing their roles here. We're actually seeing Karo-chan, who is the main healer on the team. She's filling in for Cloud, who had to go, and is playing Reinhardt. She typically plays the main healer, and she is filling in as the Reinhardt here. It'll be interesting to see how she plays in that role. And then Bandit, who is playing DPS, has switched over to that off healer. So we're seeing some changes in the roles being played here. The Underdogs are running a Ryan Zarya as well, with Reaper and Junkrat. Yes. So it looks like Nightshade is... Some of them are rotating to the right side of point. And now they're making their way through a hotel. Half of them are in hotel. Okay, it looks like they're all going through hotel now here. This might be a little rough with the Underdogs running a Junkrat. Neither team has any picks yet. And Kitty has gotten that first pick on the Junkrat. Some of Nightshade are emerging from hotel. It's like Eevee on the Underdogs did get a sleep on Carol, but she was able to survive through that. Oh, and she did get picked. Frozen, however, pops the Valk and reses her back up, so Nightshade still has a numbers advantage here and have taken over the point. Photo sends out a dragon, just trying to clear that area, make sure that the Underdogs can't push back through there. However, Junkrat decided to back off, which was probably in their best interest, and just regroup around this corner here. Both Ryans do have their Earth Shatters on the board, so we're going to see some shield battles going on here to see who's going to be able to shatter through the team or not. That one was blocked, however Carol comes out and also shatters. Get a huge transcendence from the Underdog Zenyatta, but it was not enough to heal through a tire from Kitty, who was able to clear them out as they were grabbed. So we saw a lot of nice combos of ults coming out there from Nightshade. It looks like the remaining DPS have decided to regroup from the Underdogs, and Nightshade continues to push the payload along here. They did use pretty much every ult they had on the board. Zeo on the Underdogs sent out a tire. Unfortunately, it did not get any picks. Now Wayfarer, their Ryan, is trying to contest point. Right now, it's more of a 6v5 in favor of Nightshade. They were able to get that point there of the payload phase. And now they start this last part of the payload phase. Dragons from Photo do not get anyone. And the Reaper ult comes out. I'm actually wondering if that was a misclick because no one on Nightshade was around there. Huge grab comes out from the Underdogs. And it looks like their Ryan is trying to swing into them, but could not do anything. Had no follow-up. No heals come out either, so they were picked. Carol has charged in quite deep here, but the rest of Nightshade has pushed up with them to support her there. Now Carol will have to watch out for Wayfarer's Shatter, who it does come out, but Bandit also pops her Transcendence, trying to keep them alive, but Wayfarer has already gotten 2 picks on Nightshade, and Carol's Earth Shatter did not take out anyone. It's looking like the Underdogs will be able to hold this point here at this corner. Photo will have to be careful not to be picked here. It looks like she might just barely get out before their Reaper teleported out up there to try and contest her. So Nightshade's regrouping here. They have a couple of DPS ults available, as well as Grav again. So we could see Grav Dragons come out here, or Grav Tire. Let's see how that Grav gets used. However, the Underdogs do have their Transcendence. Grav comes out. Transcendence does protect the team from those dragons. Carol charges in. And Wayfarer charges in as well. Frozen's been picked by Zeo, the Junkrat, on the side of the Underdogs. Huge play though by Kitty in response. Kitty has gotten 3 with her tire, leaving only the Reaper on the side of the Underdogs. It's going to be rough for the Underdogs to recontest here. They don't have any big ults, but they are getting close to some tank ults.
Pass into the iris.
Bandit pops Transcendence, keeping Carol alive as she charges in and is dueling the Rhine. But it looks like there's just too much DPS coming out from Nightshade. Tire comes out from the Underdogs. Does get a pick on Carol-chan, but that's not enough to stop the payload. They are able to push it that last little bit to get that last point there.
2-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
So I think Nightshade again did a really good job with we saw some coordination of the ults. We saw Grav Dragons come out, and then in response the Underdogs did have their Transcendence available and were able to save the team from that. So it was good to see the ultimates being used in those kinds of situations. Seeing Carol on Ryan is quite different from Cloud, who we normally see on that main tank role. But I think Carol's been doing a good job with filling in there. She did go head-to-head against Wayfarer, the Ryan on the side of the Underdogs. So she was definitely contesting her fairly well as well in those Ryan duels.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
And that tire by Kitty was just, it was perfect to be able to clutch that last little bit of that payload phase and get them to complete the payload portion here.
I'm not sure why I even bothered.
So now we're seeing a Ryan Zarya on defense as well from Nightshade. Photo is on Tracer. I haven't seen much Tracer come from her, so it'll be interesting to see how she plays her on a defensive role.
Objective A.
And the Underdogs have decided to run a pharmacy on this point. And honestly, with the comp that Nightshade is running, it might be difficult to contest that pharmacy. We don't have any pure hit scan heroes like a Widow or a Soldier to really contest that pharmacy. We might be able to get some work then. And it looks like the first pick comes out, but is res right away. Otherwise, it's mostly just the tanks dueling at the choke here. Probably waiting for another pick. Carol went in a little deep there, but did have the help of her team, and she got a huge fire strike. Now Nightshade will want to make sure this one doesn't get rezzed. And it doesn't look like it will. So they're maintaining control of the choke here. Now Wayfarer, the Rhine on the Underdogs, almost has her ultimate. It looks like she has it now, so she's actually gotten it faster than Carol. Carol needed to be safe and play smartly with the shield, which she does. She does block it, however, Photo gets taken out. See, Barrage come out, did not connect with anyone. Frozen has popped Valve and kept the team alive through that. So unfortunately, the Underdogs were not able to get the picks they needed from their ultimates, which they had used there. However, they have picked Photo once again. Let's see if they push in on that. Carol still has her Shatter. So once the Underdogs do push through here, you see Graf come out. No follow-up. A huge nade from the Underdog's nade. We saw some picks from the soldier, the nanoed soldier, but Kitty responds with her tire, which stopped their push there. That could have gone the other way. But it looks like Nightshade is able to keep holding this point. There's only about 1 minute left for the Underdogs to try and take this point 8 here.
60 seconds remaining.
And Carol still has her Shatter. Bandit is shattered and taken out. That's the main healer. And the other healer, Frozen, is also taken out. So looks like Burning Flesh, the Pharah on the Underdogs, is doing a lot of work here on this final push, leaving only the tanks left on the point. Carol commits her Shatter and charges the Roadhog, but is not able to get any picks yet. However, Bandit's Coalescence keeps her alive. And we're seeing yet another grab. So the tank's somehow barely able to hold on.
10 seconds remaining.
With help from Bandit's Coalescence there, keeping them alive. It looks like that wraps up King's Row.
Play of the game.
And Carol getting the play of the game on Reinhardt, the role she does not normally play. Huge fire strike through that grab. Alright, so that ends King's Row. We'll be starting with the next map in just a moment. We'll be swapping sides as well. Xiomara has been subbed out for Giggles on the Underdog. And we will find out next map in just a moment. So far, it is looking like we will be doing Route 66 next. We've not yet done an escort map. So the underdogs are looking to do Route 66 next. We're getting ready from the underdog and ready from Nightshade, so let's begin.
Traveling to Route 66. Initiating match.
So on attack first, we are going to have the underdog attack and escort that payload there, while Nightshade will be defending. Find out what team comps they will be running in just a second.
Ready for battle.
So coming out from Nightshade's side, we're seeing an Orisa being played by Taco, while Frozen is playing Diva. So again, with some of Nightshade's players flexing onto different roles here to fill in. Frozen normally plays off healers, but today she's playing off tank. And Taco normally plays the off tank, but is playing the main tank here. For DPS, we're seeing a Junkrat and a Symmetra. Makes me a little nervous in case the underdogs run a pharmacy. Again, they don't have a lot of that hit scan to deal with them.
Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
So on the underdog side, we're seeing Ryan Diva, Mei again, as well as an Ashe.
I'm gonna have to shoot you down. Here it comes.
So their Ashe has taken high ground and thrown one of her dynamites, but did not connect with that one.
Time to raise my APM.
So the spam from... Oh, it was actually the Mei that took out Kitty. Taco took out their Reinhardt.
All systems checked out. So game on.
So Nightshade's holding this corner here, and they have dropped down from high ground, although some of them are starting to come back up with the help of Photo's teleporter there. Now looks like Frozen's scouting a bit up here. We're not seeing any changes from the underdogs yet. Now they've actually snuck back here. And they're committing their Lucio beat to try and keep this push alive. However, Frozen is nano, takes out that seal.
Into the iris.
And now Carol pops her Transcendence at sort of an odd time, but it might have been just to save herself or one of her teammates. Some of the underdogs are still trying to push through this cave, but with Photo's orbs going through that cave there, that's a lot of damage that they're gonna have to avoid. And she set up her turrets here as well to guard the main entryway where the payload is at. We're gonna see some ults come out this next fight here. Frozen sends out her Diva mech, which picks their Ana. And Photo has also used her Sim ult. Now Wayfarer, the Ryan on the Underdogs, responds with a Shatter, does not connect, and has no follow-up. Takes her out. However, Frozen's in a little bit of trouble getting frozen by the Mei on the other side, but looks like they're able to hold this corner here. The Underdogs need to have some pretty crucial ults here. Get around this corner here. Now we're seeing everything come out so far. Bob is just cleaning up after that blizzard came out from Burning Flesh. And now the Underdogs are pushing Nightshade past the gas station here.
Cease your resistance.
Taco commits her bongo. We're seeing a tire come out from Kitty, takes out the Reinhardt. And actually Nightshade might be able to hold this here. With that extra damage and the pick from the tire.
10 seconds remaining.
And unfortunately that baby Diva can't do too much there. However, the rest of the Underdogs have pushed through cave with Beat just trying to stall the cart, get more of their players on there. But Photo has prepared for it with her turrets surrounding that area, and they haven't dealt with them at all. You can see it's just taking away health from the Ana there. The Underdogs just trying to hold on, but
Pass into the iris.
unfortunately they couldn't get the picks they need. Nightshade had a really strong defense there.
0 to 0.
I would almost like to see some changes in comps from the Underdogs. I felt like
Initiating
something was off, something wasn't working, they weren't getting the picks they needed. And so they just kind of struggled with their attack there. Now we will be restarting this map here. So that way
traveling to Route 66.
That way Nightshade gets to play the full map here.
Traveling to Route 66. Initiating match.
So yeah, it did seem like something wasn't working, and I was actually surprised that the Underdogs didn't choose to run a pharmacy against Nightshade, because Nightshade was running a Junkrat and a Symmetra, neither one which can really deal with a pharmacy. And the pharmacy did seem to work out somewhat in their favor on King's Row, so it would have been nice to see that come out from the Underdogs, especially on attack, where they can easily swap to Nightshade's counters there.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Nightshade's counters there. So far on defense, we're seeing the underdogs actually running a bunker. So it'll be interesting to see if Nightshade is able to work around that.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
So we're seeing a Ryan Zarya comp and Frozen on Widow. I don't think I've seen Frozen play Widow before, so hopefully she can get some nice picks here. But it's going to be difficult with that Orisa shield defending their team like that. Looks like now they've noticed that Bastion there. Huge pull from the Orisa, but does not have follow-up damage. Kitty's actually been quite daring to jump up to the high ground where that Bastion and their whole team is. Easily gets picked. However, the underdogs are not contesting payload, so Nightshade's just continuing to push point. At this point, Giggles, the Bastion on the underdogs, has gotten behind Nightshade. Nightshade's not really dealing with her, just continuing to fight on the payload. Looks like now they've recognized that she's there and just taking her out.
Gale the Mahol.
Firing up! Allah till May! Now shoot!
So Karochan on Brigitte has popped her ultimate, and Taco got a shatter. That, along with the Junkrat spam damage, is just making it difficult to stay on this point. We have Soldier ult. We also have Bastion. And actually this is looking rough for Nightshade.
Cease your resistance.
Even a late bongo coming out from Wayfarer. So Orisa. Nightshade will have to regroup here. So just barely the underdogs were able to hold the payload before point A here. So Nightshade's slowly going through the gas station, but Taco got picked early. Leaving only Photo on the point. Nightshade is staggering here a little bit. They need to regroup. Make sure they have that Reinhardt again for the next push. Especially against the Bastion. So the healers have actually taken the side route here. Not with the rest of the team, so hopefully they don't get picked. Frozen swapped over to Pharah, recognizing that Widow pick wasn't really accomplishing what was needed. Now they have a Pharah, but it still might be difficult considering they have that Bastion and the Soldier. Seeing some ults come out here. Link, the Diva on the underdogs, does get some picks, but Taco had a huge fire strike, got to. Kitty also has a tire that took out the Soldier. Looks like it's a 3v2 in favor of Nightshade right now, and Nightshade is able to get those last few picks.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
And gotten the checkpoint of the first part of this Route 66 route. So the underdogs are continuing to run this sort of Bastion bunker comp with the Orisa and the Soldier. Holding up on this bridge here. But Nightshade once again is just pushing hard along, even though a few of them have gotten picked. We're seeing the bongoed Bastion who was able to clean up, as well as the tactical visor come out from the underdogs. So they used a couple ults, but they were able to hold them around this corner here. Now for Nightshade, we're seeing Reaper come out from Frozen, so she switched a third time, which is fine. Perhaps it was a little difficult to run that far against the Bastion and the Soldier. Looks like they're deciding which way they want to go. They're going to go up top here. However, Coalescence comes out from the underdogs. More of an offensive ult. As well as a tire.
60 seconds.
Tire does not really connect. Bastion ult. Bastion ult also not really getting any picks. And Taco just charged straight into the Bastion, with Carol rezzing right next to the Risa. So unfortunately for the underdogs, they just weren't able to get any of those crucial picks with the Bastion setup.
30 seconds remaining.
I don't know if they'll have time to contest here. They might just have to regroup for this third section here of the map. And it looks like they're still electing to not switch their comp. We've seen some switches on the side of Nightshade, but not yet from the underdogs. So actually with them setting up this bunker here, it's giving Nightshade quite a bit of space to push the payload. They don't have to deal with a Ryan Zarya comp next to the payload. So as long as Nightshade doesn't get picked by this bunker, they're just able to push things along. And Frozen just had a huge Death Blossom. She just snuck up right behind the underdogs who were bunkered up there and just popped that ult. They had no idea. Think Tank ult come out. Soldier on the underdog just trying to contest here. And it looks like it's a huge ult. 4 picks with that tactical visor, only leaving Taco as the last standing member here of Nightshade.
30 seconds remaining.
And unfortunately, Taco is pretty badly staggered here. Nightshade only has one more push. And they need to wait for their Reinhardt, who got picked pretty late there. But they also have to touch point, which is going to be a little difficult considering Bastion is right there. Carol pops Val trying to give them to sustain. Is anyone able to touch? Taco and Photo both touch point. Carol res is Frozen back.
Raise my APM.
Looks like Nightshade has gotten some picks here. Oh, and the Coalescence came out just as Taco shattered. Now Giggles on Bastion trying to do what they can, but it's going to be difficult. Wayfarer switching to the Wrecking Ball for some stall, but it's a team kill from Nightshade, and it looks like that wraps up this map.
Score 0-3. Switching.
Alright, so that's going to wrap up this scrim. We played a number of maps here, and Nightshade had a really strong showing. Normally, in the scrims that we've seen between Nightshade and the underdogs, they've been pretty even, with both teams taking maps on each side. But it seemed like Nightshade was a little bit more dominant tonight. We saw a lot of nice coordination. You could tell it seemed like the comms from Nightshade were very well coordinated, where they were pushing the underdogs, making sure that they were cleaning everyone up, that they were all taking the same routes and using their ults effectively. So that really, really helped them, and they were able to get those picks that they needed. Whereas we weren't seeing those picks really come out from the underdogs. And also we didn't see as many switches coming out from the underdogs, so that might have also hindered their ability to get the picks and hold some of the map points. But overall, great scrim. Great job by both teams. It was fun to watch. It was fun to cast. I hope whoever joined the stream also had fun. I look forward to more scrims with Nightshade. Thanks. Have a good night.